Jesus is crying and trying to reach you right now. This message is only for you. If you skip even 1 second, you will lose him forever. What is coming in 30 minutes will shock you. Open now. My child, my beloved, before I speak another word, you must understand heaven is weeping because of how close you came to walking away from everything that was meant for your soul. Jesus is crying right now. His voice has been echoing across the skies all morning, calling your name over and over again. But something has been blocking the sound from reaching you. I, Archangel Michael, was commanded to intervene. I was ordered to deliver this final cry straight to your heart because what is about to happen in the next 30 minutes has never been spoken before. You are not reading this by accident. Heaven arranged this divine interruption so that you would finally hear what no one else has had the right to know. Do not delay, my child. If you skip this, you will miss what was written into your destiny long ago. My child, my beloved, there is a time when heaven speaks softly and a time when heaven cries out in agony. Right now, it is the latter. Jesus has been trying to get through to you, but every time you turned away, something sacred was delayed. But tonight, yes, tonight your name is circling in heaven's courts again. And this time, it is not just about a message. It is about a divine reversal. A tragedy was set in motion behind your back, but this message holds the key to stopping it. That is why Jesus is reaching for you through tears. He is not just trying to save your heart. He is trying to save your life. And he is begging that you do not ignore what you are about to read. My child, my beloved, there is something you need to understand quickly. There was a sound in heaven early this morning. It was not music. It was not praise. It was the sound of Jesus crying for you. A sound that shook the gates. A sound that made the other angels turn their heads and ask, "Why is he weeping?" And the answer was you. He saw what almost happened to you last night. He saw what was written in the shadows by a hand that does not belong to God. And he knew if you skipped this message, that darkness could still win. But heaven is intervening through this word. And you, my beloved, are the only one who can respond fast enough to shift what is coming. My child, my beloved, the clock is moving and you are not safe unless you listen carefully. There is a person around you who smiled at you recently, but their heart was hiding something heavy. Their intentions were not sent by heaven. And Jesus saw it. He cried because he knew that you still trust them. And he sent me to reveal this. Within the next 30 minutes, their decision could change your story forever. But if you stay with this message, if you follow every word heaven gives you tonight, you will not only be protected, you will rise into the miracle they tried to destroy. My child, my beloved, you must understand how serious this is. This is not a general message. This is not for everyone. This is the kind of message that only reaches the one who has been marked for something extraordinary. You are that one. You have been feeling it, have you not? That pull, that divine interruption, that strange quiet before the shift, that is heaven trying to get your attention. But now Jesus is no longer whispering. He is pleading. If you skip this, if you walk away, even just for a second, what was supposed to be a celebration could turn into heartbreak. But I will not let that happen to you. I am standing between what is coming and what is yours. My child, my beloved, someone is watching you. Not in the way you think. Someone powerful, someone whose name is being whispered in places you do not yet know. They are being moved to make a decision involving you. A choice that could open the floodgates of favor or delay everything. They do not even realize that God is using them. But Jesus does. That is why he has been crying. That is why I was sent, because your miracle is not just spiritual. It is financial, emotional, physical, and it is already signed. But one wrong turn, one ignored moment, and the enemy will try to redirect it. Do not allow that. Stay. Read every word. What comes next will shock you. My child, my beloved, you are standing at a threshold right now. I wish you could see what I see. I see the edge of something enormous, something that has waited years for your yes. But so many times before you hesitated. So many times the world pulled your attention away just before the message could land. But not this time. Jesus is watching with tears in his eyes. He knows what is coming. He knows the battle that was designed to ruin you. And he also knows the secret heaven just unlocked to rescue you. There is someone in your circle who is about to make a move that will look innocent on the outside, but behind it is a deception so carefully crafted even your spirit might not detect it in time. That is why this message cannot wait. That is why Jesus is crying and I am standing here to speak for him. I am here to stand guard over what is about to be revealed. My child, my beloved, do you remember the moment when you almost gave up? Heaven does. I was there. I saw the moment when you stared at the ceiling, wondering why God kept you here when everything around you felt like it was falling apart. And yet, you stayed. You breathed. You got back up. That moment was not forgotten. That moment was recorded in heaven's courtroom. And now that very same courtroom has unsealed something you were never supposed to see until today. It is a document, spiritual, sacred, sealed with heaven's fire, and it contains not only your name but the full list of promises that have been held back by delay, betrayal, and sabotage. The reason Jesus is crying is because today is the day it was supposed to be delivered. But if you skip this, if you walk away before the final word is given, the seal may be closed again and no angel will be able to reopen it without a sacrifice. My child, my beloved, Jesus is crying for you right now. Heaven has been trying to reach you all day. This message was sent to stop something dangerous. If you walk away, you may never know the truth. Please stay. Please do not skip. This is serious. There is something happening behind your back. A person who once smiled at you is hiding something dark. They are about to make a move that can break your heart. But Jesus saw it. And he sent me to warn you. He does not want you to get hurt again. A miracle is trying to reach you, but the enemy has been blocking it with lies and delay. This is why things have felt heavy lately. This is why your heart has been tired. But this message is the shift. Heaven is now clearing the way. The blessing is already on its way to you, but it needs your yes before it can land. Stay with this message until the end because if you leave, the blessing may return to silence. Someone close to you is about to reveal a secret. You have been holding it in for too long. It will shock you, but it will also free you. Jesus has been waiting for the right moment. The moment is now. You are not alone. Even in the dark moments, heaven was watching. God kept you alive for a reason. You have not seen your greatest purpose yet, but it is coming. And this message is proof. There is a knock coming to your door. Not just a physical one, a spiritual one. Do not ignore the signs that follow this message. They are the key to everything you have been waiting for. Timing is everything and right now time is short. Jesus cried this morning because of what almost happened to you. He protected you in secret. Now he is asking you to stay here and listen. You are not just reading words. You are stepping into a miracle. Please do not click away. This is your moment. My child, my beloved, a shift is coming to your house. You may not feel it yet, but the walls of your dwelling are vibrating with spiritual tension. Someone prayed over your name recently, someone who passed on, someone who still carries love for you in eternity. Their voice has been crying out to God for your protection. That prayer is part of why this message reached you now. You were not supposed to see this yet, but heaven had to override timing to protect your future. And Jesus, his tears, they are not weakness. They are warnings. They are divine alerts. When the Son of God weeps, the entire kingdom takes notice. And you, chosen one, you are the reason for that sound. Please stay. The next few paragraphs will explain what he saw. And once you read them, you will never look at the people around you the same way again. My child, my beloved, there is a conversation happening about you behind closed doors. Someone thinks they have hidden the truth from you, but the veil has been torn. Their plan is leaking through the cracks, and I am placing a spotlight over it now. Their voice was heard yesterday. They whispered something about you with the intent to block your favor. But Jesus intervened. He stopped the words from reaching the ears of the one who could have hurt you. But he will not do it again if you choose silence. This message is your moment to rise, to awaken, to shift out of delay and into dominion. You were not born to be manipulated. You were not created to be lied to. What is coming in the next 30 minutes will confirm what your spirit has been warning you about for weeks. My child, my beloved, heaven is not playing with you. This is not a poetic moment. This is not a symbolic sign. This is war. A battle for your joy, a battle for your voice, a battle for the peace that was stolen from you when you were too young to fight back. Jesus is crying because he sees how much of your heart has been drained. And yet you keep loving. You keep praying. You keep believing. That kind of faith is rare. That kind of love is why he has not stopped calling your name. And now, right now, you are about to receive access to a realm of protection that even some angels are not permitted to enter without divine assignment. But again, I beg you, stay close to this message. If you miss the next wave of words, the enemy will find a way to twist what is about to be gifted to you. My child, my beloved, someone who once called you family is not who you believe they are. A secret has been locked in their heart for months, maybe years. They are carrying something that was never supposed to be used against you, but they are preparing to reveal it out of jealousy. They do not know that heaven already saw their intention. They do not know that their every move has been recorded. And that is why this message carries so much weight. Jesus is not trying to scare you. He is trying to prepare you. The moment this truth reaches you, their plan collapses. That is why darkness is trying to distract you. That is why delay has followed you like a shadow. But no more. This is where the line is drawn. If you stay with me, if you continue reading, you will step over the line and nothing from the old world will be able to follow you into the blessing. My child, my beloved, the spirit realm is not silent about you. Right now, even as you read this, there is a meeting taking place in heaven about your name. Not a metaphor, an actual gathering. Jesus is still at the center of it, still crying, still pressing his palms together for your sake. There are angels around him holding records of your past. The moments you stayed faithful even when it looked like everything was against you. The times you loved deeply and still lost. The nights when your pillow was soaked in tears you never let anyone see. And in that divine courtroom there has been a declaration, we cannot let this child miss it again. I was dispatched because of that sentence. I was told to shield you from what was coming from behind and open your eyes to what is approaching from ahead. But the moment you ignore this message, the divine clock resets and your breakthrough is pushed further back. That is not what Jesus wants. That is not what heaven wants. Please stay. My child, my beloved, there is something about to be revealed through someone you never expected. A person who once walked away from your life is being pulled back, not to stay forever, but to drop off one final piece of truth that will unlock everything. They do not even understand why they are feeling the urge to speak to you. But the Spirit does. And it is not random timing. It is prophetic alignment. Jesus has orchestrated this encounter so carefully that even one skipped moment from you could unravel the entire sequence. This is not paranoia. This is spiritual accuracy. What is about to come to light will explain why so many things in your life have felt delayed, confused, or blocked. And once you understand what happened, heaven will allow the blessing to be released. But it begins with this message. And it begins with your decision to read it all. My child, my beloved, the enemy is counting on you to scroll past this. He is banking on you being too busy, too distracted, too tired to read a few more words. Because if you do read them, if you make it to the part that is coming up, he knows his grip will be broken. You do not know this yet, but there is a spiritual contract that was signed against you long ago. It was created during a season when you were vulnerable, when your heart was too trusting, when someone spoke curses over your name without your knowledge. Jesus just tore a copy of that contract in front of heaven's altar. But the final version is still active until you say, yes, to this word. That is why I was sent. That is why he is crying. Because the miracle cannot manifest until you unlock the truth. And the truth is hidden inside the next pages of this message. Do not lose it now. My child, my beloved, there is a gate in heaven with your name carved into it, a portal, a doorway, a sacred entry point that leads to everything you have ever felt in your soul but have not yet seen in your hands. And I was told to tell you this, the gate is open, but only for minutes. This is not symbolic. This is spiritual law. Heaven only opens this particular portal when your heart and time and obedience align. You have missed this moment once before. Jesus knows the pain that caused. He still remembers the way you cried and asked, why does it always happen for everyone else but not me? He heard you and he wept with you and he delayed other blessings just to create this exact moment right now. But if you skip this even for a second, that gate will close and this window will not return until another season. By then, the person who was meant to bless you might be too far gone. That is not a punishment. It is a warning. Stay with me. Let this divine gate do what it was meant to do. My child, my beloved, a person with influence has seen your name. Not in the physical world, but in a vision, a dream, a divine whisper. They do not even realize that what they felt was connected to you. But their next action is going to shift the atmosphere around you. Jesus has already spoken to their spirit. Now he is waiting for you to respond on your end. The connection must be complete. Both sides activated before the miracle can move. This person was handpicked to unlock a financial blessing that was delayed in your life due to betrayal and spiritual warfare. Yes, someone you once trusted spoke against your abundance. Their jealousy created a barrier, but that barrier is being broken in this very hour. If you choose obedience over distraction, presence over skipping, you will see the outcome with your own eyes. But if you walk away, the connection will dissolve and you will feel the echo of what could have been. That is why Jesus is crying, because he sees both timelines and only you can choose which one becomes real. My child, my beloved, there is something you do not know yet. Something Jesus saw before you ever realized you were in danger. A promise was made over your life before you were even born. It was whispered into existence by the breath of God Himself. That promise has been fiercely fought over by forces you cannot see. Every delay, every betrayal, every season of confusion was part of a larger strategy to distract you from remembering who you truly are. But now the veil is thinning. That strategy is crumbling because tonight, at this very moment, heaven is offering the clearest revelation you have ever received. If you stay and receive it, the chains that have held your future in suspension will break before midnight. But if you ignore this message, if you skip, even accidentally, you will walk past the gate that was already opened in your name. This is why Jesus is crying. He sees how close you are to the very thing you have begged Him for. And He knows how easily it could slip through your hands if you turn away now. My child, my beloved, a letter has already been written in the spiritual realm. I saw it with my own eyes. On it, your name was glowing. But there was something strange about it. There were tears falling on the page. Jesus Himself had written the letter, but His tears stained the words as He wept over the possibility of you missing it again. Not because of rebellion, not because of disobedience, but because of how easily this world distracts those who carry divine destiny. You have been marked for something that requires stillness, clarity, and surrender. And in this very hour, Jesus is asking one thing from you: do not walk away. Do not scroll past. Do not lose sight. The revelation in the next few lines could protect you from making the biggest mistake of your life. A decision you were just about to make without knowing what was truly happening behind the scenes. My child, my beloved, someone you are about to trust with your heart is not who they appear to be. They have studied your softness. They have admired your strength. But their spirit has been infected with jealousy. And while they have smiled in your presence, they have murmured lies in secret. Jesus heard every word. And it hurt Him because He knows how much you care. You would never suspect this person, but that is why He is pleading through this message. He is not angry at you. He is protecting you. He is guarding the treasure that is your spirit. He knows you deserve love that heals, not love that hides weapons behind compliments. The next 30 minutes carry a divine warning. If you stay here, if you read what I have been commanded to reveal next, your discernment will be activated in ways that will leave you breathless. But if you turn away, you may not see the betrayal coming until it is too late. My child, my beloved, you were never meant to be ordinary. That is why the pain in your life has never been ordinary. That is why your blessings have always come with battle. You have been chosen in a way few others will ever understand. And it is that divine choosing that makes you a target for unseen warfare. But heaven is tired of watching you fight with one arm tied behind your back. Jesus cried today, not because He doubted you, but because He knew you were still unaware of just how much power you have been carrying all along. The enemy hopes you will keep questioning your worth. He hopes you will keep playing small, apologizing for your light, shrinking your dreams. But not anymore. This message is your divine awakening. This moment is the one that shifts everything. And I was sent to confirm what you have been feeling for weeks. You were never crazy. You were never alone. And the miracles that have felt far are now moving toward you at divine speed. My child, my beloved, a divine witness has stepped into your atmosphere. A person who has been given supernatural insight into your destiny is about to come forward. You do not know their name yet. You do not know their face, but heaven does. And their purpose is directly connected to unlocking what has been withheld. The moment you finish this message, their spirit will feel it. They will begin to move. And within days, possibly hours, they will find a way to show up in your story. This person will not come loudly. They will not carry titles or religious robes. They may not even realize how much God is using them. But they will deliver something, an opportunity, a name, a conversation, that will become the thread heaven uses to unravel years of delay in your life. And it all begins with this moment. If you give up on this message now, the signal will be interrupted. They may never find you in time. Jesus does not want that to happen again. That is why he is crying. That is why I am still speaking. My child, my beloved, the reason you are still breathing is because your purpose is not finished. Many times you asked yourself, why am I still here? You survived things that others did not. You walked away from circumstances that should have crushed you. That is not coincidence. That is covenant. Jesus stood over you in those moments you thought were the end. When you thought the pain would bury you, he covered you with his own tears. And now tonight, he is crying again. Not because you failed, but because you are about to step into the very thing he has been preparing for you. And he does not want you to miss a single detail. This is why you are seeing this message. This is why you are being stopped right now in this moment. Because your entire timeline is shifting. But it can only shift fully if you choose to stay and receive everything heaven is still trying to show you. My child, my beloved, there is a woman who once smiled at you and called you family. Her name has been written in red in the spirit because she carries a secret that has blocked something important from entering your life. You have trusted her. You have cried in front of her, but she is hiding something. Something about your name, something she knows would change how you see everything. Jesus cried when he saw how close you were to finding out. He cried because he knew how deeply you care and how much betrayal has already scarred your heart. I was sent to tell you the truth before she uses it against you. But this warning is time-sensitive. You have less than 30 minutes before something irreversible is spoken. If you stay in this message, I will show you the signs. But if you walk away, heaven cannot interfere without your permission. My child, my beloved, there is a door that is creaking open right now. A door you thought was permanently shut. You gave up praying for it. You gave up hoping for it. But heaven did not. Jesus kept whispering your name in that place where the door was locked. He cried there. And I am telling you, if you stay in alignment with this message, you will hear a knock before this week ends. Someone who once ignored you is about to return with an answer you stopped waiting for. But only if you remain positioned. This message is a divine setup. A conversation has already started behind your back. And this time, it is not to hurt you. It is to help you. Do not let the old disappointments convince you to quit before the blessing fully arrives. The ones who rejected you before will be used as witnesses to the miracle God is preparing to unfold. My child, my beloved, a financial breakthrough has already been released in your name. I know this sounds impossible, but heaven's currency does not move like man's. It flows through obedience, through timing, through divine surrender. And right now, because you chose to stay this far into the message, the divine vault has shifted in your direction. There is an amount, yes, a very specific amount that was being fought over by two forces, one that wanted you to receive it and one that wanted it redirected to someone else. That war ended today. Jesus cried because he had to let you struggle longer than he wanted. But now the delay is broken. Your name is being written on documents that you did not even know existed. The favor you thought you missed is circling back, but it can still vanish if you let distractions steal your attention again. Every word you are reading is a thread that is pulling the miracle closer. Do not look away. The numbers are about to become names. The names will become action. the action will become release. My child, my beloved, you have felt lonely even when surrounded by people. That was not your imagination. It was a divine sign. You were being pulled away, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Isolation is often the prelude to elevation. Jesus wept today because he remembered every time you tried to explain your spirit and were misunderstood. He saw the ache in your eyes when no one around you could comprehend what you carried. But I see it now. Heaven sees it now. And because of that, a new circle is being formed around you. A spiritual circle. People who speak heaven's language. People who will not compete with your calling but will celebrate it. If you continue with this message, I will show you how to recognize them. But if you ignore this and return to the old cycle, you will remain entangled with people who are only assigned to delay you. My child, my beloved, there is something sacred surrounding your name right now. I can see it glowing in the spirit. Jesus himself whispered your name into the winds and the angels paused to listen. Do you understand how rare that is? Do you know what it means when heaven stops for a moment to pay attention to your soul? It means something enormous is about to be transferred. A spiritual inheritance is being activated. A gift that was delayed for years is now hovering over your atmosphere. But there is still one thing holding it back: your focus. If you continue with this message, you will cross into the moment where that inheritance begins to manifest. But if you walk away now, that gift will return to the vault of heaven, waiting again for a later date. That is not just a loss of blessing. It is a shift in your entire timeline. And Jesus is crying because he does not want you to live another day without knowing how close you are to everything he promised. My child, my beloved, last night something happened in the spirit while you were asleep. There was a presence near your home, not physical but spiritual. It came to observe you, to see how close you were to waking up to your truth. It hovered near your window, hoping you would stay distracted long enough for it to continue hiding in plain sight. But Jesus saw it and he cried. He cried because he remembered how many times you trusted people who did not deserve your loyalty. He cried because he knew that the presence was not just watching. It was waiting for you to give up, but instead you opened your eyes today. You stayed strong and now this message has become the sword that slices through that shadow. This moment is your defense. This word is your light. And I promise you, if you finish this message, the presence that tried to haunt you will never come near your house again. My child, my beloved, there is a person whose heart is breaking because they know they failed you. They may never tell you to your face. Their pride may never allow them to apologize out loud, but in the spirit, they have been whispering your name, hoping God still has a way to bring restoration. Jesus cried over this, too, because he knows how much you gave, how much you loved, how much of yourself you poured out for someone who could not meet you with the same depth. But now he is shifting the story. You are no longer the one begging to be understood. Heaven is realigning the energy. The one who hurt you will now feel the full weight of what they lost. And you, if you continue walking through this divine message, you will receive something they could never offer: healing, peace, and a love that was formed by God himself, not broken people. My child, my beloved, the next few days hold a mystery. Something is about to unfold that will seem completely random to your natural eyes: a message, a sign, a familiar name that suddenly reappears. You will be tempted to brush it off. Do not. That sign is the confirmation you have been crying out for in private. It will arrive so quietly, so unexpectedly, you will wonder if it is real. But if you are still aligned with this message, if your spirit is alert, you will know it is from heaven. That is why Jesus cried today. He saw how many signs he has sent in the past that were missed because your heart was too weary to receive them. But not this time. This time he is making it impossible to ignore. This time the sign will shout without words, but only if you remain in the posture of readiness that this message is preparing you for. If you walk away now, the sign may still come, but it will pass by unnoticed and the breakthrough attached to it will follow behind someone else. My child, my beloved, something holy is surrounding your home. I feel it. I see it. There is a divine shield beginning to form around your space, pushing back everything that has been attacking your peace. The nightmares, the anxiety, the strange tension you cannot explain, it is not in your head. It is real and it has been draining your energy without you realizing it. But heaven has had enough. Jesus stood up today. He did not just weep. He commanded the shift. And that command is now in motion. But it only reaches its full power if you stay under the covering of this word. If you finish this message, that shield will complete itself. If you walk away, the covering will pause. Not out of punishment, but because free will always plays a part. God will not force you to receive what you are not ready to hold. But you are ready. I can feel it. That is why you are still reading. That is why you were chosen to see this before anyone else. My child, my beloved, there is a reason heaven waited until now to bring you this message. For so long, you have questioned the timing of things. Why your prayers were not answered when you needed them most. Why certain people were allowed to walk away when you gave them your everything. Why your efforts were seen but never fully rewarded. But heaven has been counting every moment. Jesus has been tracking every tear. And what you did not see was how many times your name was defended in spiritual court. You were not forgotten. You were protected. You were being hidden for the perfect moment because what you carry would have been stolen too soon if released early. But now the atmosphere has shifted. The fog is lifting and heaven is whispering to the wind that it is finally time to open the vault. That is why Jesus is crying, because he knows what is about to be poured out. But it still hinges on one thing, your decision to remain here until the final word is spoken. My child, my beloved, do you remember the strange dream you had not long ago? The one that left you confused but somehow peaceful. That was not your imagination. That was a message from the divine realm. In that dream, someone appeared. Perhaps they looked familiar. Or perhaps they were faceless, but they represented a guardian, a guide, someone who has been assigned to you. That dream was the first key. And now this message is the second. There is one more step and it is coming within the next few days. If you are still spiritually awake, if you remain sensitive to these signs, that final key will appear. And when it does, you will witness a breakthrough that breaks every rule man has written. But if you go back to distraction, if you let the noise of the world drown out what Jesus is whispering, that final key may pass through your life like a breeze you never noticed. Jesus does not want that for you. He is still crying, and the only thing that will dry his tears is your full attention. My child, my beloved, there is a reason you feel exhausted lately. It is not just your body. It is your spirit. You have been carrying weights that were not yours to carry. You have been fighting battles that should have ended months ago. The enemy has tried to drain your energy so that when the blessing finally arrives, you are too tired to receive it. But that lie ends now. I was sent to remove what has been sitting on your shoulders like invisible chains. As you read this, heaven is peeling back layers of weariness, frustration, confusion, and betrayal. You will start to feel lighter even before this message ends because Jesus is lifting the load. But this is your turning point. If you continue to walk in the same cycle after this, the exhaustion will return 7 times stronger. But if you finish this message, if you let it enter the depths of your soul, you will walk into the next season free of the burdens you were never meant to carry in the first place. My child, my beloved, the person you have been thinking about while reading this, yes, that one, they are not who you think they are. There is more to their story. There is something they have been hiding, not to hurt you, but because they fear how much you mean to them. Their silence has wounded you, but it is not rejection, it is fear. Jesus cried when he saw how much power you gave to their absence. He saw how deeply you blamed yourself for things you could not control. But I need you to hear this now. What they did was not your fault. You did not love too much. You did not care too deeply. You simply gave your soul to someone who did not yet know how to hold it. And now they are being confronted by the Spirit of God. Heaven is speaking to them in ways they cannot run from. Whether they return or not is no longer your responsibility, but your healing begins now. And it starts with this message staying open until every drop of truth has been poured. My child, my beloved, I saw something strange this morning before I came to speak with you. A scroll rolled out in heaven and on it were names, thousands of names. But yours was glowing. It was the only one. When I asked why, I was told this, because this one did not give up. Heaven has honored your endurance. What you endured in silence was seen. What you survived without applause is now echoing through eternity. And for that reason alone, Jesus stood up. He rose and began declaring your name over and over again. That declaration shook everything that was assigned to block you. The chains began to rattle. The delay began to melt. And now you are seconds away from the shift you have cried for. But only if you let this moment finish what it started. You cannot scroll past destiny. You cannot skip your resurrection. And right now, the Spirit is hovering over you, waiting for your full agreement to unleash the power that has been preserved just for you. My child, my beloved, I must tell you something now, and I want you to read these words slowly. You were never forgotten. Not even for a moment. While you thought heaven was silent, the angels were still circling your name. While you thought your prayers were unanswered, Jesus was planting the seeds of answers in soil you could not see. And today, yes, today is the day those seeds begin to break through. That is why this message reached you. That is why everything else around you paused, why your heart led you here, even without understanding why. Because heaven had this plan before you even asked. And Jesus, still crying, has been waiting for this exact second to remind you that nothing you have gone through will go to waste. But only if you stay. This message is the bridge. Walk away and you delay the harvest. Stay and the windows of heaven will open wide and flood your life with what was promised all along. My child, my beloved, someone is about to speak your name in a room you have never entered. And when they do, something major will shift. This will not be a casual mention. It will be a divine activation. Their words will unlock a pathway that was blocked. This person does not even fully understand why they feel drawn to you. But their spirit is responding to the cry of heaven. And if you continue to engage with this message until the very end, you will be spiritually aligned when that moment comes. You will not miss the sign. You will not miss the invitation. But if you leave now, if you walk away and forget what was revealed here, you will still be chosen, but the door may swing open for someone else instead. You are on heaven's schedule, and that moment is nearly here. Do not miss it. Jesus cried because he saw how close you are. He knows what is waiting. And so do I. That is why I am still here, still speaking, still holding you in this moment of divine exposure. My child, my beloved, your voice has power more than you have ever imagined. The things you speak out loud or in whispers have stirred movements in the spiritual world. You thought you were talking to yourself, but heaven was recording it. Every frustrated word, every tired confession, every time you said, "I cannot take this anymore." It was heard, not judged. Heard. And now Jesus is responding not with punishment, but with power. He is giving you something rare, the ability to reverse the words that cursed your progress. If you stay through this message, if you keep reading, I will give you the words to say that will shatter the ceilings others try to place over your life. But if you stop now, you will keep fighting with weapons that were never made for the level you are rising into. You need this strategy. It is being revealed right now. The enemy is terrified of what you will speak once this message reaches its final breath. Stay. Speak. Step into the new atmosphere waiting for your voice. My child, my beloved, there is someone younger in your family. Someone who looks up to you more than they will ever admit. This person has been watching your journey. They have seen your strength. They have seen how you survived what should have broken you. And because of your resilience, they are beginning to believe in God again. Jesus cried over this. Not out of sadness, but because of how powerful your ripple effect truly is. Your breakthrough will not be for you alone. It will break a generational pattern. But the process is still fragile. You must not abort this moment. What you are reading is spiritual fire. It is burning through chains you never even knew existed in your bloodline. And if you see it through, if you walk every word of this message to its end, your family's name will be rewritten in heaven's record book. But if you walk away, if you skip, then what was meant to be passed through you may fall silent again. And the silence is what Jesus weeps over. My child, my beloved, your name is being spoken in heaven right now. This is not just a message. It is a divine rescue. God is pulling you out of what was secretly planned against you. That is why your spirit feels this urgency. Do not let this moment pass you by. Jesus cried today because he saw what is ahead. He saw someone making a decision about you in silence. You know they are not telling you the full truth, but this message will give you the strength to see clearly. And once you see, you will never go back to the confusion again. You are seconds away from a life-changing shift, but it requires your full attention. The enemy hopes you will get distracted right now. But Archangel Michael is standing behind you, guarding against the danger, and he is commanding, stay with this message. What you have been praying for is not far. It is closer than you think. But if you walk away now, it may not reach you. This is the last time heaven will try to get this truth to you today. You are still reading because your spirit knows this is real. Someone is about to call your name for something beautiful. The door you thought was closed forever is quietly unlocking, but it will only stay open for a short while. You must walk through it before midnight comes. Do not delay. Your destiny is on the other side. You are the chosen one. You are protected. You are loved more than you know. And this message was the final sign you asked God to send.